What's up guys, I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is pretty much a follow-up to my last LEGO Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows set ideas video from a couple months ago, which surprisingly did pretty well for my channel and I'm really proud of it actually. It was one of my favorite videos of 2020. I didn't want to make that video way too long as it was like a little, set ideas video and such, so I just figured I'd make a part 2 featuring the ideas that I left out. All prices mentioned in this video are in the Canadian currency as I am from Canada. And without further ado, let's take a look at some of the rejected, I don't want to say rejected because they're pretty cool, but abandoned ideas that I've decided to leave out of the original video. The first idea on this list is one of Bill and Fleur Delacour's wedding, featured in the Deathly Hallows Part 1. I'd imagine that this scene would fit in very nicely with the Burrow set and could be sort of like an extension for it. That would be so cool. And I can see that happening actually in front of my eyes, We could even get a brand new Xenophilius Lovegood minifig in there, along with Bill Weasley, Fleur of course in their wedding outfits, and the Golden Trio in their formal outfits as well, and a few other characters to name. It would pretty much feature the tent with a large, fancy interior, and perhaps some playability features in there to mimic the Death Eater attack that occurs in there. The tent would obviously be the main focus of the set, and I'd imagine it'd come at a price point of around $50 Canadian, which is pretty fair. It'd basically be a much larger and more detailed version of the little tent that we got in the Hungarian Horntail Triwizard Challenge set. And you know what I mean, like it'll be a similar idea, but much larger, with an open concept, or maybe it can open up, and interior design like tables, chairs, lights, and wedding decor. Next up, for this next idea, we have the Lucino Cafe attack, featuring Harry, Ron, Hermione, the waitress, and 2 Death Eaters that attack the trio, Antonin Dolohov and Thorvin Rowell. It would be a build similar to the LEGO Friends Cafe, and I'm sorry for that weird comparison there. It's the only cafe I could think of. And honestly, it's pretty cute, but pretty colorful for my liking. And I'd imagine that the Harry Potter one would be more detailed, more subtle looking, with a more subtle color scheme and a more realistic structure to fit in as a cafe in the middle of London, England. If you guys know what I'm saying. The sign for the cafe would be printed, I hope, or it could be a sticker. It depends because getting printed pieces can be very expensive. So I guess a sticker would work pretty well, considering that I'd imagine that the set would be around $40. So, getting a sticker there would be pretty cool. And I'd also imagine that the interior would be filled with cafe tables, chairs, store decor, trays, trolleys, and the glass panel near the cashier where the food is stored. That would be really sweet, along with a back swinging door there, like your typical classic cafe from London, England, and from, Canada too, because we have cafes like that too, Tim Hortons. Next, for the third idea, I figured I'd include the boathouse where Severus Snape died in the movie. That scene was very emotional for me, and I know LEGO don't really tend to recreate violent scenes most of the time. Hint, hint, Rise of Voldemort, Duel on Mustafar from Star Wars, Darth Vader's transformation. I mean, those are a few to name, if you know what I'm saying. If you can name more, let me know in the comments. That trash compactor from Toy Story. So I guess getting a boathouse would work pretty well, you know what I mean? I mean, the boathouse itself would make for a brilliant addition to Hogwarts that could be used to display with the rest of the castle grounds, in my opinion. It'll be gorgeous. You never know. It would cost around the same price as the 2018 Whomping Willow set, so around $80, and I feel like that'll be pretty fair, and that the boathouse would look really sweet, in my opinion, if it were to be made in LEGO form. Moving on, this next idea came to me in the shower. It's like a shower thought. Hear me out. This idea would be similar to a pop-up book, but this pop-up book would be for the tale of the 3 brothers, where you can build each scene for each brother, featuring the Elder Wand, the Invisibility Cloak, and the Philosopher's Stone for the brothers in the story. It would feature figures of each of the brothers and death itself. I feel like it'll make for a sweet set, considering how cool the ideas, the LEGO Ideas pop-up book turned out, and that was so cool, and I loved it so much. I'd love to get a Tale of the 3 Brothers pop-up book, and I'd imagine that the price for this set would be $60 to $70, and the front of the book could be the Deathly Hallows symbol. That would be so sweet. It'll fit in nicely with the moment sets too from Harry Potter that we got in 2021. That would be so cool. And honestly, this would make for a perfect Deathly Hallows set. Next upon the list, the second last idea is more of a diorama set. So it would be similar in size to the Expecto Patronum set and similar in price as well. And this idea is pretty similar, to be honest, featuring Professor Snape's Patronus, the Doe, Harry Potter, and Ronald Weasley. Lego can only do so much to create a deep lake, but I guess it just needs to have the sword of Gryffindor in there, covered in a transparent blue ice piece with some water and ice surrounding it to at least mimic the lake. That would be really cool, and the price would be around $24.99. Pretty fair in my opinion, and getting a Doe Patronus would be so cool. Last but not least, the final idea is for a big boy. This is for a set that would cost around $100 to $130 in my opinion, and would feature Harry, Ron, and Hermione in their disguises. Disguises where, you say? Their disguises breaking into the Ministry of Magic and the Deathly Hallows. I mean, the way how I thought of it is that we could get a Ministry of Magic set featuring the entire building. It would kind of be to scale with Lockwood Mansion from Jurassic World or the Sanctum Sanctorum from Marvel, and it would feature elevators, and of course in the front there the toilets Flu Network entrance. That would be pretty sweet. And various Ministry of Magic rooms. I'm trying to scale the rooms in the Ministry of Magic to the Hogwarts sets that we have nowadays, like the Great Hall, part of the Great Hall, and Dumbledore's little office there in the clock tower and stuff like that. It'll be to that scale. Pretty small, but you can only do so much with that price point in my opinion. And I just really want to get a Ministry of Magic set and find it way more likely to get one based on the Deathly Hallows at this point in time. And I'd also imagine that it'd be more like a play set. That's more likely in my opinion. You know what I mean? For the whole Harry Potter theme, we've been getting really sweet looking play sets. And why can't we get a playset version of the Ministry of Magic break-in? That would be so cool. And I find that more likely to occur, in my opinion. Well guys, that pretty much brings a wrap to this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you think I missed a good set idea, let me know in the comments down below. I just figured it'd be a fun idea if I revisited my old ideas video and, made a part 2 featuring some of my rejected ideas that I just couldn't fit in there in the last video. I just didn't want to make it too long and stuff like that, as I wasn't really anticipating to have an audience that would listen all the way through, and I really appreciate those of you who've watched till the end of this video. You know what, if you watched till this point in the video, comment down below with the word serpent. I really feel like the Harry Potter theme has so much potential and is here to stay. And I'll end it here. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.